to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, my goal is to give you a message that the universe has for you at this very moment. The first thing that I'm going to do is shuffle out one card from the Prisma Visions Tarot to get the context or the general energy of your reading. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. Whenever I do universe readings here, I do ancestor readings over there. So if you're interested, the link to that is in the description. And for the context or the general energy of your reading, I have the Two of Wands for you. I just saw 44. I just picked up something about the For You page of TikTok, which is interesting. So that could be somehow significant in some way. The Two of Wands is also represented with the planet of Mars and the zodiac sign of Aries. So there's definitely a very destructive energy here, but it's more like taking pieces apart to put pieces back together. I just saw 111, so trust yourself, believe in yourself, don't be afraid to follow your own path and to do your own thing. It kind of feels like that's what this journey is about. I just saw 122, change starts with you. There's definitely something here about taking advantage of the hardship or the challenging experiences that you've had in your life, but in like a mental, intellectual kind of way. I do feel that there is some sort of inner journey being highlighted here. The High Priestess or the Moon might be significant. I definitely feel like you're learning to listen to your intuition more. There's also something here about your emotions, better understanding those and the thoughts that create those emotions, and learning how to gain more control over your actions. Triangles might be significant. Maybe something about the Pythagorean theorem or something like that. That's interesting to be coming through. But the two does seem to be highlighting a focus here on your mental health. There's definitely some sort of soul searching going on here. And now I'm going to move on to these Magical Dogs Tarot to look a little bit deeper into this. We have, that's pretty telling, the Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's already some pretty powerful messages coming through. The Nine of Swords is a very anxious, trapped, hopeless type of feeling. Definitely feeling trapped in one's mind, feeling that maybe there are some fears that aren't possible to overcome. I feel called to talk about the storm and this imagery being the calm within the storm, and the idea of this shall pass. You know, after every storm there's a rainbow, you know. Sounds cliche, but I'm also feeling something here about how you have to go through the storm to see the rainbow. You can't have dark without light, and vice versa. I definitely feel something here about becoming more desensitized from the reality of what this reality is. You know, take that however it resonates. The Nine here also reminds me of your purpose. So I do feel there's a lot of wisdom to unlock here that you can take advantage of in terms of pursuing your purpose and using your voice, telling your story, making a difference. And I want to say in the best way you know how, but really in the way that you feel called to. That's really interesting. There's definitely some anxieties here for sure that may be causing depression that need to be overcome through believing in yourself more. For sure, there's very strong, courageous Page of Swords, inner child type of energy. And there's also something significant about the ignorance of a child, but now how, like, you're older and you're not as ignorant, and it's like, you know, it's really good to ask yourself what made you stop believing in yourself in the first place, what made you feel hopeless and trapped in the first place. There's definitely a mental cage here that you need to get out of your physical cage. I did feel something about prison is coming up, maybe feeling like you're in a prison, or there could be some like legitimate messages here about prison, but I saw 4, 5, 6, and I for some reason wanted to say prism, which is interesting because the triangle that I mentioned earlier. Wow, colors could be very significant. I also heard colorati, which is a way to say colorful in Italian. So maybe taking your vision, going from black and white to color. There's something very beautiful about this. The next card that I have for you is the 3 of Wands. Wow. The 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. So it really feels like this 3 of Wands is your goal to expand and, you know, to grow. But that growth and that expansion starts internally. There's definitely a strong message here about how your answers are going to come from within. There's a strong need here to focus on your inner world, your feminine energy, how to control it more so you can have more control over your masculine energy, because the root of masculine energy is feminine, which is interesting to think about. So yeah, the Empress could be significant. Maybe the idea of yin and yang, dark and light aspects might be significant. This expansion, it's like you can take advantage of this wisdom in a monetary way. Like there's definitely something here about finding your place or your purpose in the world and being able to make a living, you know, not only serving yourself, but also serving those around you. We have the Page of Pentacles. Wow. Yeah, that inner child energy is coming through very, very, very strongly. You may be trying new things, might cause you a lot of anxiety. There's also something here about feeling embarrassed about being inexperienced about something. I really feel called to tell you to be kind to yourself, to treat yourself as you would a loved one, or treat yourself like you would treat your childhood self. It definitely feels like there's some holes here that could be patched with that, which is an interesting message to come through. I definitely feel that these anxieties are linked to your inner child, and there's just a need here to allow yourself to finally grow up, so to speak. You know, like give yourself that space to grow and to understand yourself that you may have not have gotten in, you know, childhood or in the past in some way. For the last card from this deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which really, really, really confirms what I was saying about making a living off of your purpose. But you first have to understand what that purpose is. There's definitely a key and a lock type of analogy here. There's a lock here that is holding you back from your abundance, and you need to find the key to that abundance, to your fortune, if that's what you want to call it. There's a very strong earthy type of energy here, so I really, really do feel that you need to be focused on grounding yourself, on understanding where these anxieties come from and how to release them. And chances are with fears, it comes from doubting yourself. So whatever you're telling yourself that makes you feel powerless, tell yourself the opposite, because that is what will help you feel powerful. There's definitely some like storyline going on in your head that I feel that needs to be rewritten. Oh, I really like how that came out. The 10 is a reminder here that all of your spirit guides are here to help you. There's a very strong ancestral, like legacy type of feeling coming from this 10 of Pentacles. So there is an opportunity here to do something different in your family line, to be someone different, to break the status quo. Definitely to make a difference, to make a change. I'm feeling to stand out, which standing out might make you feel anxious, but there's definitely something here about learning to love the light. There's just so many interesting messages coming through in this reading. It's almost really hard to put into words. I'm picking up very strongly on some Wheel of Fortune energy, where you really need to be accepting of where you're at now, trusting that it is where you're meant to be, and trusting that everything will happen in the exact way that it's meant to. You're being reminded that there is a much, much bigger picture at play, and your purpose is one of many, but it matters just as much. I'm going to move on to the last deck, which I forgot a card. The Secrets of Tarot. To just get some last final messages. I did see 122, so change starts with you. I'm going to take the card that was sitting here on the table, which is the Queen of Cups. There's a very strong focus here on your, like I already said, your feminine energy, but like your intuition, your grace, your spirituality, for sure, your spiritual gifts. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a mysterious kind of energy here, for sure. You're being reminded that the healing that you're doing, there are so many pros, so many perks. I just saw 111. Like, not only can you give yourself more and give those around you more, like, part of that more is, like, really awesome, cool, spiritual, occult stuff. There's definitely some really interesting wisdom that you could obtain from the healing that you're doing. This Three of Wands definitely makes me think that there is some heartbreak here that needs to be addressed, perhaps being mistreated by family members or people in general, through being misunderstood, learning how to not take that personally, so that way it doesn't take away from your power and from your potential. This Queen also really makes me think that you really need to learn how to be kinder with yourself, and that will really help, quiet your mind, and it will make your inner voice, your intuition, much louder. The feminine energy here is very, very strong. This has nothing to do with gender. We all have feminine and masculine energies, and it's very, very clear in this reading that there is a focus on your feminine energy, which is your thoughts and your emotions. There's a focus here of, understanding how you feel, and, what thoughts are linked to those feelings, so you can change your thoughts, your perspective, and, change how you feel and gain more control over your actions. You need to gain more control over your actions so you have everything that you need to pursue your purpose. I just saw 1, 2, 3. Trust that everything happens in the way that it's meant to, exactly as it's meant to. The next card we have is the Ten of Wands. So there's, that's interesting, there are 2 tens here. So again, another, strong confirmation that your ancestors, the spirit realm, is there to give you that spiritual support, particularly when you're feeling alone or very, very misunderstood. The best entity in this universe that can understand you is the universe itself. So definitely don't be afraid to communicate with it and spirit guides, and wherever you feel called in spirituality. I just saw 1313, so this is a reminder that good luck is on your side, but you're also being reminded that that Wheel of Fortune energy is coming through again. Karma. You create at least 50% of your karma. That's why it matters to hold yourself accountable in the way that you think and how you feel. This Ten of Wands does bring about, especially with the Nine of Wands, or the Nine of Wands, with the Nine of Swords here, there is a heavy, heavy, heavy energy here, and you're definitely being called to release this energy. The pressure that you feel is coming from within, and it's about being too hard on yourself, and you need to learn how to be less of a perfectionist and to open your mind up more, especially when it comes to who you are and what this reality is about, for lack of a better way to explain it. But the last card that we have here is the Eight of Cups. The 8 is a reminder to let go, knowing that you deserve more. Recognizing and valuing your worth and what you deserve is so, so, so important right now. The Eight of Cups is also depicting something about walking away from something, for sure, which looks to be the same person almost on these cards, which is interesting. I never really noticed that before. But the Eight of Cups does symbolize a mental, emotional, spiritual release. This is what you need to be doing right now, letting go of what no longer works within, thinking patterns and perspectives that do not work for you, and releasing perspectives that are self-destructive. This reading is kind of getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end it there. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that, that's the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'd really love to connect with you more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.